Elementor is a great page builder, and as we know, you don't really need any knowledge of coding, HTML, CSS, that kind of thing, to actually build beautiful, dynamic web pages for yourself and for other clients. However, sometimes setting up a web page can be a little bit tedious and time-consuming. The Elementor Pro version actually has a feature where you can duplicate entire web pages and set them up as templates. This can really improve your build time on your website. However, we're going to look at 3 free ways to duplicate pages and create mini templates to help you speed up that build process. The first one is just duplicating entire pages. The second one will be creating sections and templates from those sections. And the last one, the third one, will be, there's actually a quick feature where you can copy and paste specific elements, sections, and columns onto other web pages. So let's dive in. Okay, so in this quick tutorial, we're going to look at how to set up this section with the view that we're going to duplicate it so that we can just edit the text, change the image so that different pages like this are easy to edit, and we can just keep changing the context. And quite easily you can then start building web pages without the need for actually laying out the page structure every single time. So that will be the first step. Then we're also going to look at how to create something like this here so that we can then duplicate it and use it in other sections of our website for a later date. So let's look at the first option, which is creating the page and then how to duplicate it. So we're in the back office now. Let's look at editing our home page. So let's come to Pages, Home, click Edit. We're going to check that the content layout is 100% full width and the title has been disabled, which it has. So now let's look at mounting Elementor to it. So click this button here. And here we go. We've got our header and then a simple kind of blank page and then our footer here. So let's look at building in between it. So first we want to add a new section. So let's click this little red circle here. And for this, we need 2 columns. So these 2 squares here like that. Next, we're going to add an image. So to do that, there's 6 dots at the top here. Click that image and drag that over. And now we need to change the image to display the image that we want to show, because at the moment it's currently just showing a placeholder. So let's click the image there, and I'm just going to drag and drop this image over like that. Change the alt text. The alt text is what we tell Google the image is about. And insert media. Next, we're going to look at the image size. Now the image size is way too big, so let's drop it down to 768. Obviously, the lower you can get this image, the faster your page will load, so that's really important. And we're going to change the column width to 60%. So if you click the column bit here, come to layout and just type in 60. This will then automatically make the other column 40. Now let's add the text. So come to the bottom 6 squares at the top and drag the text over like that. And I'm just going to type in committed to building digital capacity. This is linked to our SEO. Digital capacity is a keyword for this page. So I'm going to keep the HTML tag at H2. Now we're going to come to style, typography, and let's just increase the size a little bit to somewhere around there. Next, it's just a slight off black, so let's change the color of it to proper black. And that's our first title done. We're going to add another title now, so let's click the dots at the top, add another heading below it there like that. And I'm just going to paste this text in there like that. Delivering relatable content, training, services to your community. So it is linked to digital capacity, but it's not 100% directly there. So we're actually going to put that as a H3. So if your titles are relating to what your keyword is, then keep it a H2 or a H3. If it doesn't really relate, and we'll look at some of those later, just put it to a H4 or below. I tend to put kind of H6 if they're not really related to the keywords. Now let's look at increasing the size. And let's make it jet black. Now we're going to add text. And again, let's make it justified, which means that it's to the edges on both sides, and jet black. And then we're gonna keep it a bit simpler than the example. We're just gonna add a button like that with more info. Let's change the typography weight to make it a bit bolder. And we're going to change the background color to a pinkish red like that. Next, we want to link this to another page. So I'm going to open up PODTech's homepage, and we're just going to link it to this page for now. So click the page. If you're already logged in, you'll notice that there's all this text afterwards. We don't need that. We just need the text before. And let's paste it in the content. Click update. And now let's click the preview change icons to see how it looks on the front end. So it's getting there. So now if we click more info, the button will take us to the link of our choosing. Next, we're going to add these 4 columns underneath. We're not going to do the transitions because we're not demonstrating how to set that up yet. We're just going to set them up as cubes so I can show you how to duplicate them. So for this, we need another section. So let's click this and click the 4 because we're having 4 columns. And in the first column, we're going to drag an icon. So search for icon box, which is this one here. Drag it in. And we're going to just change the icon to something random. So let's just put in ID. And then we're going to change the title to free webinars. Let's remove the text. The HTML tag H3 is the right one for this. We want to be focusing around free webinars. We could make it a little bit more connected to our key phrase. We could put free web building webinars. Just helps Google classify things a bit better. And let's change the primary color to that pink that we were using previously. Now we can actually save this pink color. So let's do that. So let's click this little plus symbol here. And we're going to type primary color 1. Let's change the title color to a darker color. And then we're going to just add another button below. Change the text to learn more. And let's put the alignment as center like that. Change the color. So instead of trying to find our color here, we can click this little globe icon and tick our primary color that we have saved. Now I'm just going to link this to our free webinars page, which is this one here. So as you can see, there's none of that preview text at the back, so we can copy the whole link. And let's paste that in there. Hit update. Now this will automatically update our page. As you can see, it hasn't quite shown our updates. So sometimes for that, all you need to do is just change a setting, change it back, click update again, and we'll just reselect the primary colors again. Now, I think that that's because we've got a caching issue. It's just showing us the old site. So I've just closed down the preview changes window. We're going to reopen it again, and we can see it's still there. So if you make changes and they're not appearing correctly on the front end, the best thing to do is open private mode if you're in Safari, or incognito mode if you're in Chrome. I'll put the short keys on the video screen below so you can just see how to open that. So I'm working on Safari, so I'm going to do Shift, Command, and N, and that just helps us open a new window. And then I'm going to type in our domain name, which is test.podtech.org. And as we can see here, the colors do show. So it's just a caching issue that's not showing us the correct colors. So we know that that's fine. So next we're going to create the shadow, which we can see here. So let's do that. So for that, we need to select the column, which is this gray box here. And then come to Style, Border, and we're just going to tick this here, which gives us a box shadow. Next, we're going to turn the border radius up, and that will just give us our rounded corners like that. And then finally, we just want to add a bit of padding to the sides here to make them look like there's a bit more breathing space. So for that, we go to Advanced, untick all the margins and the padding, and we want to create some space this side as well so that all our boxes have a bit of breathing room. So for the top, we're going to leave that at 0. Right, we're going to type 30. Bottom 0, left 30. Coming down to padding, we're going to change the top to 30, right to 0, bottom to 20, and left at 0. So now we've got our column there sorted. So let's click update, and we'll preview changes in private mode because it's still not showing. And now we can see we've got the box. So let's add a bit of space between these two sections. So click the 3 dots here, Advanced, and we're going to add some padding to the top of 50. Click update. I'm just going to open a private window so we can view it uncached. So now we've got our box laid out. We're going to duplicate this 4 times. So the easy way to do that is to click the column, right click and duplicate, and you'll create a duplicate of it. So let's do this 4 times. And then right click and delete these other columns here. And that's how you can really quickly lay out something like this with these 4 columns without actually having to physically build them from scratch. So click update. And we can see here that it's created these multiple boxes. So this is a really good way of being able to duplicate specific widgets, sections, or layouts. But now, if we wanted to take this section onto another page, for example, that we were building, let's look at doing that together. So to do that, we right-click, and we're going to save as template. And we're going to put box row there like that and click save. Now this has already been saved into our templates, so let's close that, and we're going to come back into our back office, click pages, we're going to add a new page, and we're just going to put test, change these to full width and disable the title, and then we're going to mount Elementor to it. So this is a new separate page. So to add that template that we've just made, we can click Add, My Templates, And we can see the template here is saved. So you just insert it and it inserts on the page like that. Another really quick way of doing it, I'm just going to delete that, is if you come to the section you want to duplicate, and this only works if you're on the same website. So if you're trying to copy this across 2 different websites, it won't work. Come to the section, right click it and click copy. Come to the section you want it to appear, right click and click paste. And that's a really quick way of doing it as well. Say you wanted to export it to another website that you were working on, come to templates, my templates at the top. And if you hover over it and click the 3 dots here, you can actually export it. So this will export it to my computer and it will look like this. Now say we were logged into a different website and we wanted to upload it to this website. You can click templates, this little arrow button at the top, and then you can select your file from where it was downloaded, which is here. Choose. And there you can see it's uploaded the templates. That's how you upload between different websites. So these are the most common ways. But say you've built an entire page like this and you actually want to duplicate the entire page. That's also very easy. So you come into the back office, pages. And then if you hover over the page you want to duplicate, so let's say we've done this test page here that we want to duplicate. If you hover over it, if you have Essential Addons with Elementor, you can actually duplicate the entire page. So if you click that, and it'll create a draft of that entire page there. So that's a really quick way of also duplicating pages for you to edit. So hopefully this tutorial was useful for you and you now know how to duplicate sections, columns or widgets or entire pages for free without having to upgrade to Elementor Pro.